Hi everybody, my name is Janine Friesen. Thanks for stopping by my home in Steinbach, Manitoba again. I really appreciate it that you stopped by. I really appreciate the comments and the friendships that have been created on the Real Women of Philadelphia board. If you guys haven't popped in there yet and made yourselves known, please do. It's just a really great place to be. So once again, this week we are into appetizers, and for my first appetizer I've decided to make a creamy gazpacho using the Philadelphia cream cheese garden vegetable flavor. This will add flavor as well as we have a beautiful gazpacho full of fresh vegetables topped with some olive oil and cilantro. Sit back for a while, enjoy yourself, relax. Within 5 minutes we'll have this simple, delicious soup ready to eat. First off, I'd like to introduce you to someone. This is my rescued bowl. I rescued it from the store this last weekend. I went to the store with my family and they decided that since I couldn't put the bowl down, they would buy it for me for Mother's Day. Thank you guys, I really like it. I am looking forward to blending and mixing and stirring lots of things in this bowl. And today we're going to be making gazpacho in it. I have my food processor, which is kind of a must in this unless you really like chopping, or you can use your blender. I'm going to take about 14 ounces of crushed tomatoes. And I know they're crushed, they don't need to be processed in any way, shape, or form, but this is where we're going to actually blend our cream cheese into. You can make gazpacho as chunky or as smooth as you like, depending on your family's preferences. It's really a soup that you can do anything with. So we're going to add our cream cheese in there. Our cream cheese has been softened to room temperature. Pop the lid on there. We just want to incorporate the cream cheese nice and smooth into the tomato base. So we're going to put this in our bowl. We're going to be reusing our bowl a lot, so don't worry about scraping it out too much. Now, to make things a little bit easier, I have some small diced tomatoes that I bought. They're canned tomatoes. The reason I'm using canned tomatoes instead of fresh tomatoes is that canned tomatoes do not break down once you put them in the fridge. Fresh tomatoes, when you put it in the fridge to chill, or if you have leftovers and it waits till the next day, your tomatoes will start breaking down. And with canned tomatoes, that's not going to happen. This is a 19-ounce can of small diced tomatoes that already have garlic and olive oil added to them. So I'm going to be using this just to save a step, but if you do not have this kind of tomato available to you, you can always add a couple tablespoons of olive oil and I would say 2 cloves of garlic. But since I have this, this is what I'm going to use. To that, I am going to add my onion. I have roughly chopped onion. I don't have anything too smooth or small or anything because it's all going to be going in the food processor yet. My family, however, is not, we don't really like a lot of onion in our stuff, so I only did a half of a small onion, but feel free to do a whole small onion if your family really likes onion. I'm also going to add in about 3/4 of a roughly chopped green pepper. That'll work. And again, you can process it as chunky or as smooth as you want, based on your family's preferences. That's the bowl. Next, we will be roughly chopping some cucumbers. I've got them, it's one long cucumber that I've removed the seeds from, but I've kept the peel on. And this we're just going to pulse, just until you get the texture that you like. I have it fairly fine. Add that to the bowl. Now that we have all of our pureed vegetables in here, you'll notice it's still really, really thick. But it's really creamy thanks to the garden vegetable cream cheese. Now we're going to add some add-ins. I have a 1/4 cup of vinegar. I'm just using white vinegar, but you can use white wine vinegar or anything like that. A teaspoon of paprika. I have a pinch of cayenne pepper. I have young kids and they're not really a fan of the hot spicy stuff yet, so we're just doing a pinch. If you like heat, feel free to add more. I have about 2 tablespoons of fresh chopped parsley. And I'm also going to add in about 2 tablespoons of fresh chopped cilantro. You could use basil. I'm just using what I had on hand. I'm going to keep the rest of this to garnish with later. Stir this up. As you can see, this is a super quick, simple recipe, but it's loaded with nutrients. This is homemade tomato juice that I made one year when I had so many tomatoes I didn't know what to do with them. Add that in. Actually, I believe it's also a bit of a vegetable juice. It had other things besides just tomato in there. If you still think it's a little bit too thick, feel free to add more tomato juice just to thin it out a little bit. I think I'm going to go with this because it's a really nice, hearty, thick soup right now. Now that we have our soup all mixed together, we're going to salt and pepper it with about a teaspoon or so of salt and maybe about a half teaspoon to a teaspoon of ground pepper. You can always season it to your liking. Give that a taste, see if I need anything else. No, I'd say it's good. I think our seasonings are right now, so we are ready to plate it. When you make it, like right now my tomato juice was cold, so it's actually kind of chilled already. If you are taking warm ingredients, I would say put it in the fridge now for a half hour, 45 minutes until you're ready to serve it. It can stay for hours though if you have that kind of time. But since we have a time limit here on Real Women of Philadelphia, we are going to plate it up now, or bowl it I guess. Here I have some olive oil that we're going to use, and we're going to also top it with the leftover fresh cilantro. Here I have a nice little bowl that we would serve it in. Just going to spoon some into there. It's a really thick soup. We will drizzle it with some olive oil. And sprinkle in a little bit of fresh cilantro. So here's one way to serve it, just in your regular serving bowls. Here's another way that we can serve it. We can take our little bowls, we can take our little glasses and just fill them up. I think these are perfect for appetizers. You can fill up a whole bunch of glasses and just leave them out and people can take their little serving of soup with them. We're also going to top it with a little bit of olive oil. And just some really fine cilantro. Isn't that beautiful? That's 2 ways to serve it up. The third way to serve up our creamy gazpacho is in a large bowl and just have it go family style. We'll just try to carefully transfer our soup without splashing everywhere. And again, we will top it with some olive oil, which is a beautiful way to top off your soups. And again with the fresh chopped cilantro. You could use parsley, you could use basil, it's totally your choice. So we'll give everything a crack of fresh black pepper on top. And all 3 versions are ready to serve. That was a really, really quick, a really delicious, fresh, refreshing summertime soup. I hope your family enjoys it. I thank you for letting me into your homes again, and I hope you have a fantastic week. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for stopping by. Y'all come back now, you hear?